Hello, Chris Green here with the Flood Insurance Guru. As we come to you today on August 1st, we're in the middle of hurricane season. And we got a hurricane in the Atlantic right now that's causing a lot of problems from the Bahamas to Florida, the Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, Virginia. You have all these moratoriums going on. And so first of all, let's talk about two things today. What is a moratorium and how long will it last? First of all, that moratorium is, think of it as a freeze. This is when insurance companies kind of put a freeze on doing business in certain areas. Typically this happens when there's a named storm that goes on either in the Gulf, the Atlantic, the Pacific, wherever it's at. A lot of times this is when moratoriums go in place. So it puts a freeze on business, which generally means during moratoriums, you can't get a new policy. If your policy lapses, you may not be able to get reinstated until the moratorium's gone. There's also other moratoriums out there that insurance companies put in place where they really just don't want to do business in areas at a certain time. But today we're specifically talking about usually coastal areas. So let's talk about the second thing. How long do these moratoriums last? These can range, but generally with most of these moratoriums get lifted is when the flood warnings have gone away in certain areas. Now, outside of coastal areas, for example, in North Alabama, there was a lot of moratoriums in early 2020, early 2019, as a lot of flooding occurred when some of those wet winter months. And once those flood warnings went away in those areas, some of those insurance companies lifted those moratoriums. Now, some companies will lift moratoriums quicker than others will. It just depends on the type of business model they have and things like that. So generally, once the storm passes, say you're going to generally see probably moratoriums up to about 7 days after that storm passes to make sure there's no flood issues in the area from rising water, there's no flood warnings and things like that. So this is roughly about what you should be looking at moratoriums is maybe 7 days after the 7 days after the storm passes that area that the moratorium may stay in place. Now, as I said, could be quicker, could be longer. But this is kind of a good number to go off of. So if you've got questions about moratoriums and how long they're going to last in your area, then make sure to visit our website, floodinsuranceguru.com. You can also check out our YouTube channel and our Facebook page, Flood Insurance Guru, where we do our daily flood education videos. Remember, we have an educational background in flood mitigation, which means we can help you understand flood risks like this right here. Your flood insurance and mitigating your property long term to help you minimize flood losses and flood premiums. Thank you.